Hello from Oral Roberts University. I'm Dr. Kim Boyd, the Dean for the College of Education. And with me today, I have three of our faculty members, Dr. Amanda Wilson, who's the Associate Dean for the College of Education, Dr. Patrick Otto, who is the Chair of the Graduate School of Education, and Dr. Lomax, our newest faculty member. So I was reading an article the other day, and I read a quote from the American Psychological Association that said, pre-pandemic, about 20% of children had mental health challenges and were seeking professional help. Post-pandemic, though, parents are saying, about 71% of parents are saying that their children are experiencing mental health challenges. Dr. Lomax, can you give us an idea of what we mean by mental health challenges?
Yeah, so mental health challenges can be a very broad concept, but I think to narrow it down, we can say a mental health challenge is anything that inhibits or impedes the social, emotional, psychological, or behavioral well-being of an individual. And in children, we see it showing up at school, at home, in the community. I think also when we approach mental health challenges, or when we talk about mental health challenges, school counselors, psychiatrists, psychologists, and even counselors would approach it from a slightly different perspective, but all of those fields are kind of interrelated.
Thanks. So today we are going to really delve into a little bit more about what we mean by mental health challenges. But more than that, we want to talk about how it affects our school students, how it affects parents, how it affects teachers. But one of the things that we want to do is talk about the uniqueness of Oral Roberts University and how we approach it differently. And so our goal today is really to provide hope for educators and for parents. So I appreciate you kind of starting us off with that broad definition of what we mean by mental health challenges. Dr. Otto and Dr. Wilson, what does that look like in the classroom? How does that play out in the classroom?
You know, we're seeing a lot more fear in the classroom. We're seeing a lot of the behavioral issues are fear-based and withdrawal-based or acting out, but again, it's acting out of fear or out of, I don't want to do that. I don't want that. So it's not everything, but it's a lot of it. An increase is in that fear base.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a lot of anxiety and depression. Those are two words that are just rampant in society right now. I think we're seeing it manifest itself in social media and cyberbullying, bullying in person, a lot of withdrawn behaviors, but also still a way more lashing out, a lot more throwing desks, students cursing at teachers. And I think what's really remarkable about that is how much we are so quick to just pull out our phones and record it.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing kind of a stunned society, but it's almost like a circus show where we just want to watch it, but nobody wants to intervene because nobody really knows what to do, how to treat it, how to stop it. But man, we sure want to watch it. We want to watch those fights in the hallway. And what is our response? What do we do? And I think there's a lot of lost teachers and parents out there
trying to figure out what to do about it, right? Yeah. And I think we've seen as a result of that, the public response in terms of their perspective of education of teachers. What are our alumni telling us about their experiences?
Even before alumni, I would say I've taught many freshman level courses. Got 18, 19-year-old students coming in. They're super excited about the calling that they have on their life in education. They get so excited. But often it's the reality of the classroom that stiffens and stifles some of that excitement, but it's also that public perception. They even just sometimes will tell other people what their major is. I'm majoring in education. They'll be like, oh, you're gonna be a teacher? Don't you know how tough that is? But I think the public doesn't understand. Those of us that really love education, have a passion for it, it's a calling, it's a profession. It's something we're very proud of.
Right.
And I think it's because of the hope and the things that we do with that next generation that matters, that others-oriented focus of ours, the ones of us that stay, it really is driven by that passion, that relationship with those students, what it is that you can be that helper.
And I think I see schools are trying to respond to this mental health crisis that they see amongst our students, right? They have created training for our teachers and for our administrators, provided strategies for them, provided additional resources for them. But sometimes, but it's not enough. So there are other things that we need to do. And I think we have seen that there is a huge crisis and a need for school counselors. And in fact, Dr. Otto, you were just talking this morning about a district.
Yes, just this weekend I was reading an article about a mid-sized district in Tennessee, and it was not a big urban district. It was not a rural district, just a nice medium-sized district, and they have hired 16, and they're referring to it as care counselors. And it describes these care counselors they're fully trained counselors. And I was reading this and I kept thinking, good heavens, what happened? 16 new ones. Was there a shooting that I'm not aware of? Was there some trauma that I'm not aware of? And as I was reading through the article, about 3/4 the way down, it says basically just to address the mental health crisis that's taking place in the district.